Dear students, I am Dr. V.K. Sawant. In the present lecture, we are going to discuss tax audit. We know that there are two types of taxes. One is direct tax and another is indirect tax. But now we are concerned with tax audit, which is related with direct taxes. In India, Income Tax Act 1961 is passed by the Parliament. So this act is known as Indian Income Tax Act 1961. This act came into force with effect from 1st April 1962. As per the Income Tax Act 1961, tax audit is compulsory to those assessee whose turnover or receipt exceed the specified limit. The main purpose of tax audit to assist tax authorities in making correct assessment of income tax of the assessee. So the basic purpose of tax audit is to assist tax authorities for correct assessment of income tax of the assessee. The tax auditor has to specifically report on certain transactions which have an effect on the income tax liability of the assessee concerned, thus important to tax authorities. The Income Tax Act 1961 also contains various other provisions whereby audit report is required to be submitted to get certain deductions, exemptions, etc. There are certain deductions available to assessee. Also, by considering nature of the business, certain exemptions are also available. The audit tax auditor has required to make his or her report. Especially, a tax auditor is focusing on those provisions because of which an assessee will get deductions and exemptions. Now we are concerned with the definition of tax audit. What are the definitions of tax audit? I have given here two definitions of tax audit. First definition: an examination of financial records to assess correctness of calculation of taxable profit. Firstly, we are looking the definition of tax audit. In that definition, we are stating that an examination of financial records to assess correctness of calculation of taxable profit to ensure compliance with the provisions of the income term tax audits refers to the Tax Audit Act, also to ensure fulfillment of conditions for claiming deduction under the Income Tax Act. From this definition, it is clear that tax audit refers to tax act, tax act and also ensuring fulfillment of conditions for claiming deductions. Another definition. The term tax audit refers to the audit of income and expenses of specific claims of deductions and exemption that are required to be a computed as per the provision of the Income Tax Act. This is very simple definition. In this definition, we are looking income tax refers to audit of income and expenses of for claiming specific deductions and exemptions, and by considering that the income is to be assessed. Tax audit is a specific requirement under the Income Tax Act. It is specific requirement. It is compulsory. Those assessees having more than prescribed limit income. Statutory audit is mainly done to provide information to the shareholders. The main purpose of conducting external audit or statutory audit of financial books is that to provide information to the shareholders, because shareholders are the real owners and they should get proper information. But there are also other parties who are interested in the financial information of the organization. One such interested party is the tax authority. We want to know the correct income of the SEC for the tax provision point of view. There are various parties concerned with the business organizations. Equity shareholders are the real owners of the company. But because of conducting statutory audit, the owners get proper information, as well as other parties are interested to know the financial position of the concern. Especially, we are here focusing on one party, that is tax authority. Tax authority should know exact and correct income of the SEC for assessment of the tax. Types of audit. Here we are discussing types of tax audit. There are three types of tax audit under the Income Tax Act. These are as follows. These are as follows. Number one, compulsory tax audit under Section 44AB. Tax audit for claiming exemptions or deductions. And number three, selective tax audit Section 142 clause 2A. These are the three types of audit: compulsory audit or tax audit for claiming exemption or deductions, selective tax audit. Section 44AB provides for the compulsory audit of accounts of certain persons carrying on business and profession. Tax audit is compulsory under Section 44AB to those businesses or professions having following conditions. In case of business where total sales turnover or gross receipt exceed rupees 1 crore in the previous year, If a business having 1, 1 crore or more than 1 crore gross receipt or turnover or sales, that business have required to get tax audit. In case of profession where gross professional receipts exceed rupees 25 lakh in the previous year, it means that tax audit is compulsory to business whose gross receipts, sales or turnover exceed rupees 1 crore. In case of profession where professional receipt exceed rupees 25 lakhs, that profession has compulsory tax audit. Tax auditor. Appointment and qualification of a tax auditor. The appointment of tax auditor for the purpose of tax audit and audit of statement to claim reliefs and deduction under the Income Tax Act can be made by the management of the entity. It means that management of business organization can appoint tax auditor. In case of limited company, the board of directors or any authorized official of the company can appoint tax auditor. In general, we are stating that management can appoint tax auditor. But in case of limited company, a tax auditor can be appointed by board of directors or authorized official. In case of partnership firm, a proprietor or any person authorized can appoint the tax auditor in the case of partnership or proprietary concern. It means that we have seen the three parts of tax appointment. In case of any kind of entity, generally management can appoint a tax auditor. In case of limited company, board of directors or any authorized officer can appoint tax auditor. In addition, in case of partnership firm or proprietary business, if a tax auditor can be appointed by the partnership firm or proprietary concern. However, the agreement letter should state clearly that audits to be conducted as per the requirement of Section 44AB of the Income Tax Act. We know that agreement is essential, which in which the appointing authority states their requirements, and sometimes there is an agreement between two parties, one is auditor and another is organization. When the entity is giving engagement letter to the auditor for conducting tax audit, that in that letter, engagement letter, it can be clearly stated that the tax audit is to be conducted as per the section 44AB of the Income Tax Act. Section 7 of the Chartered Accountant Act 1949, that only a practicing chartered accountant can perform tax audit. That is very important. Who can perform tax audit? The answer is the practicing chartered accountant can perform tax audit as per the Chartered Accountant Act 1949. In which year Chartered Accountant Act passed, or the Chartered Accountant Act is passed dot dot year. There are four alternatives: 1949, 1950, 1951, 1952. The correct answer is Chartered Accountant Act passed in 1949. Further, a chartered accountant in practice who renders tax consultancy on a professional fee basis, not as an employee, can also do tax audit. Practitioner, tax practitioner, or a person having tax consultancy for which he is charging fees, and the same qualification is required, chartered accountant, he can perform as tax auditor. It is further clarified that a member in part-time practice holding a certificate of practice and also engaging himself in business occupation is not entitled to perform attestation functioning including tax audit. We here clearing a fact that a person having chartered accountant qualification or having practiced chartered accountant, but he engaged himself in business and occupation, that person is not entitled to perform tax audit. Disqualification of a tax auditor. Any employee of the SEC of a concern under the same management. It means that regular employee having chartered accountant qualification also not eligible, that is stated as disqualified to work as a tax auditor of the same concern. A chartered accountant who has written or prepared the books of accounts of the SEC. A person who is concerned with the preparation of accounts of the SEC, though having chartered accountant qualification, he cannot perform tax audit of that concern. It means that there are 2 points as related with disqualification of tax auditor. One is that an employee of the SEC of a concern under the same management, and a person given written or a person who prepared books of accounts of the SEC. Another point, remove of tax auditor. Under the normal circumstances, an auditor is not removed. Generally, auditor is not removed, but there are various grounds then the tax auditor can be removed. However, a chartered accountant should not accept the audit assignment of the previous auditor was not on justified ground. It means that because of certain circumstances, tax auditor can be removed from his tax audit job. Ceiling on tax audits. It means that this is applicable to chartered accountant firms who are concerned with conducting of tax audit. Under section 44AB of the Income Tax Act, As per the section 44 AB, compulsory tax audit is to be followed to those business having turnover or sales or total receipts more than 1 crore. In case of profession, tax audit is compulsory to those professions having receipt more than 25 lakh in the previous year. So, under section 44 AB of the Income Tax Act, the specified number of tax assignment that a chartered accountant in practice can undertake or accept during financial year will not exceed 60. It means that there is a ceiling limit on number for conducting tax audit. In case of a chartered accountant in practice, he can only undertake maximum 60 organizations tax audit. Some relevant points in this connection should be noted. In case of a firm of chartered accountant, the number 60 tax audit will be applicable counted for every partner of the firm. If a partnership firm of 3 chartered accountants doing tax consultancy business, the number of tax audit is counted as per each partner. It means for every person or every chartered accountant should not cross the limit of 60. In that case, that firm can also conduct tax audit of 60 into 3 partners, maximum 180 organizations. It is also clarified that while counting the number of tax audit assignments, no distinction is to be made between corporate and non-corporate assessee. There is no difference. Assessee is assessee. It may be corporate assessee or non-corporate assessee. When a tax audit assignment is conducted jointly by 2 or more firms, it will be counted a one tax audit assignment for each firm. These are the, it means that two firms jointly carrying their activities. At that time, one tax audit assignment is counted as one for each firm. That is the ceiling on tax audits. Tax audit report. After conducting tax audit, a tax auditor has required to submit his tax audit report. According to Rule 6G of the Income Tax Rules, the report of audit of the accounts of a person under Section 44 AB will be required to be submitted as follows. In the case of person who carries on any business or profession and who is also required under any law to get his accounts audited, the tax audit report will be submitted in the form number 3CA and a statement of a particular in form 3CD will be annexed to the report. It means that two forms are required for submission, that is form number 3CA and another form, that is form number 3CD. In case of a person who carries on business but who is not required under any law to get his accounts audited, the tax audit report will be in the form number 3CB and a statement of particulars in the form number 3CD will be annexed to it. While submitting tax audit report to tax authorities, a tax auditor has required to consider the nature of business or profession. Already we have stated that the tax audit is compulsory under section 44AB to those business having turnover or sales or gross receipts more than 1 crore and those professions having total receipts more than 25 lakh. For that purpose, the tax audit report will be submitted as per the form prescribed under 3CA and particulars will be given by annexed report, that is form 3CD. But in case of a person whose business is not required to get accounts audited, for that a tax audit report will be given in the form number 3CB. The tax auditor is required to report whether the statement of particular annexed to the tax audit report are true and correct. That is essential. So, in tax audit, we discussed what is the need of tax audit, definitions of tax audit, appointment of tax auditor, disqualification of tax auditor, removal of tax auditor, ceiling limit, and also tax audit report. So this part is also coming under unit number 3, under unit number 3, that is audit of different concerns, in which we are also again considering tax audit, and that presentation is also useful for chapter number 3. So we focused here tax audit, and in next lecture I will conduct the information which is applicable to e-audit. It means that a next lecture will be held on e-audit. So I am concluding my today's speech. Thank you for patiently listening.